The evangelicals were so great to me, and they did. They came out in massive numbers. We've really helped because I've gotten rid of the Johnson Amendment. Now we're going to go try and get rid of it permanently in Congress, but I signed an executive order so that now people like you that I want to hear from, ministers and preachers and rabbis and whoever it may be, they can speak. Yeah. You know, you couldn't speak politically before. And that's going to be a great thing for Christianity, believe me. A great, great thing. And it's a great thing for religion.
Between his interview with Pat Robertson and this picture of evangelical leaders laying hands on Trump in prayer, there's a lot to talk about. Anand is back with me, and joining me now, the Reverend Dr. William Barber, President of Repairers of the Breach. And Reverend Barber, what do you make of this laying on of hands and this embrace of Donald Trump by the evangelical right?
And this very, very, very extreme agenda by Ryan and McConnell, it is a form of theological malpractice that borders on heresy. When you can P-R-A-Y for a president and others while they are P-R-E-Y, preying on the most vulnerable, you are violating the most sacred principles of religion. You know, there's a text in Amos chapter 2 that says religious and moral hypocrisy looks like when a nation of political leaders will buy and sell upstanding people, when they will do anything to make money, when they will sell the poor for a pair of shoes, when they will grind the penniless into the dirt and shove the luckless into the ditch and extort from the poor. That's an actual text. There's a text that says when you do not care for the sick, you are actually violating the principles of God. So when we have this extremist Trump Republican agenda that takes health care, transfers wealth to the greedy, that's hypocrisy and sin. $700 billion, Joy, you haven't seen that kind of transfer of wealth on the black backs of the bodies of people since the days of slavery. Yeah. Claiming to care about life, but then passing a bill when you know thousands will die, 22 million people, poor working people will be hurt. That is hypocrisy and sin. Passing bills, trying to pass when you know it will hurt children, the disabled, and veterans. That is sin. That is hypocrisy. And what leaders ought to be doing is challenging the president, challenging McConnell, and challenging Ryan, and challenging these senators and others, and not trying to appease them. Instead, they're acting like priests of the empire rather than prophets of God.
Yeah, I mean, and you tweeted, you know, in response to that photo, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me, signed Jesus. It was a quote from Jesus. I honored it. You stayed with us because, you know, the question I have then is why are all of the evangelical Christian voters so consistently voting for these policies that often hurt them when the religion that they that they follow so reveres the poor and so talks about caring for the poor?
You know, to me, there's not a lot of hopeful things to say about this hypocrisy, but I actually want to point to something that I do think is hopeful about it, which is that I think it liberates the rest of us, because for decades, this right-wing evangelical movement has tried to claim that they're doing things on behalf of some higher calling. And I think they're just revealing themselves to be just another power interest group in Washington, like the coal industry or teachers' unions. And we should treat them as any other industry, jockeying for their influence, and accord them no moral superiority on any public question.
Yeah. Do you agree, Reverend Barber?
Well, in real sense, though, I would not use the language. I don't use the language right wing because I don't think they're right, so I don't call people right that I think are wrong. I think there is a sense that there have always been these, whether it was those who supported Pharaoh or those who supported slavery, who can be bought off and attempt to use religion in hypocritical ways. And I think we can't say just evangelicals, because I'm an evangelical, but there is this group that has been using it. They've been tied up with big business. They've been tied up with racism. But the other side of it is, Joe, we have to come out. We have to come back in the public square. And those who believe not in left versus right, but the moral center have actually been too quiet. That's why many of us went in and did civil disobedience the other day. And I'm calling on all people of faith, conscious clergy. It's time to go to D.C. and engage in prophetic action. When you have people who claim they care about family values and they're cutting Medicaid that will hurt poor people, when they're engaging in policies that will cause political murder and political violence, we need to stand up and speak out and be the prophets of our generation.
And you do that every day. Thank you so much, Reverend Dr. William Barber. Anand, thank you very much.